Fall 2025 is here, and you know what that means. Fresh episodes of My Hero Academia, the return of One Frame Man, One Punch Man, and a whole buffet of seasonal anime to choose from. But here's the thing, we're not talking about any of those today. Nope. Today, we're diving deep into the trenches. We're talking about the anime that my anime list users look at and said, yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog. The dreaded Sub-7 Club. The Forbidden Zone. The shows that make you question if someone greenlit these as a dare. So, grab your snacks, settle in, and prepare yourself, because we're about to explore the bottom of the barrel. And trust me, some of these barrels have holes in them. Number 10. Potion-danomi wo Tasukeru, or I Will Survive Using Potions, by Studio Magica Infos and Imageworks. Yet another isekai, where an ordinary high school student gets yeeted into a fantasy world. Kaede wakes up in an alleyway surrounded by beastmen, elves, and dragons. You know, the usual Tuesday if you're a furry. Discovering she has the uncanny ability to create potions. Truly groundbreaking stuff. Here's where it gets painful. The first episode is basically a 24-minute economic lecture disguised as an anime. We spend so much time learning about the currency system of this fantasy world that I legitimately thought I was watching a PBS documentary. Like, I came here for magic and adventure, not a crash course in medieval monetary policy. And the animation? Imagine if a middle schooler discovered an AI image generator and said, yeah, this looks about right. The art style is so clunky, it makes early 2000s Flash animations look like masterpieces. Everything moves like it's operating on 3 frames per second. And a prayer. The voice acting is decent. I'll give them that. But decent voice acting can't save you when your protagonist spends 20 minutes explaining how to convert copper to silver. I've watched paint dry that had more narrative tension. The verdict? Skip it, unless you have insomnia and need something to knock you out. Number 9. Heika, Watashi wo Wasurete, Kudasai, or Forget That Night, Your Majesty. Oh look, another production from the same studio. Clearly, they're on a roll. Downhill. This is a romance story about Lunia, the daughter of a count who gets treated like garbage by her family and forced to marry the quote-unquote cursed duke, known as the king of the underworld. Classic shoujo setup, right? Well, here's the twist. These aren't full-length episodes. They're short episodes. Like, aggressively short. The first episode opens with her brother trying to, let's just say he's being highly inappropriate. Thankfully, he gets interrupted before this turns into one of those anime that makes you question Japan's relationship with taboo content. Then her parents literally auction her off to this tall, dark, brooding duke who looks like if Sasuke Uchiha ordered himself off Wish. The story might have potential buried somewhere in there, but with episodes this short, you barely have time to learn anyone's name before the credits roll. It's like watching a trailer for a show that doesn't exist. The verdict? Maybe wait for someone to edit all the episodes together into one watchable movie. Maybe. Number 8. Ganglion by Studio Math. Okay, I'll admit it. The concept here is actually kind of fun. It's a workplace comedy about Isobe, a regular salaryman, who also happens to be a henchman for an evil organization called Ganglion. Think Office Space meets Power Rangers villain. He fights the hero, Hope Man, gets his butt kicked repeatedly, deals with terrible bosses, and just wants to make it through the workday. Sounds great, right? Wrong, because these episodes are 3 minutes long. Not 3 minutes of content, 3 minutes total, including the opening. The protagonist literally gets cut off mid-sentence at the end of the first episode because they ran out of time. It's like someone pitched a genuinely interesting workplace satire anime, and the studio said, "Love it. Here's $12 and a microwave timer. Make it happen." The animation is solid. The voice acting is good. But you can't build anything meaningful in 3-minute chunks. This isn't even an appetizer. It's a snack crumb. The verdict? Frustratingly wasted potential. It's the anime equivalent of blue balls. Number 7. Sozai, Saishuka, no Isekai, Ryokouki. Or A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai by studios Tatsunoko Production and Synergy SP. Alright, real talk. Who asked for this? Takeru is your average office worker who gets summoned to a fantasy world with OP skills, enhanced strength, magic abilities, and the power to, quote-unquote, search for valuable items. Cool, right? Wrong again, because his main skill set revolves around gathering materials. That's right, folks. We get to watch him do the most tedious, boring part of every RPG ever made. Forget epic battles or emotional character development. We're watching this dude pick herbs and mine ore like it's RuneScape, the animation. He does get a dragon familiar, because apparently it's illegal to make an isekai without a cute mascot character. But even Kawaii Dragon-chan can't save us from watching 20 minutes of resource farming. The animation is aggressively generic. The art style screams, "We use stock assets." And the voice acting? It exists. That's the nicest thing I can say. Verdict? Unless you have a very specific fetish for watching anime characters do inventory management, hard pass. Number 6. SI-VIS, The Sound of Heroes by Studio Volan. Now we're getting into the not terrible, just confusing territory. SI-VIS is about a co-ed music group who are secretly heroes fighting mysterious forces. They convert crowd energy from their concerts into combat power. And to the public, their battles just look like really intense performances. It's basically K-pop Demon Hunter meets Power Rangers. Here's the thing. The soundtrack absolutely slaps. Whoever they got on the piano knew exactly what they were doing. It reminds me of early Symphogear, which is high praise. The animation is decent, the voice acting is solid, and the concept has potential. So why is it down here, you might ask? Well, because the story is predictable as hell. You can see every twist coming from a mile away. It's like watching someone play poker when all their cards are face up. Also, there's some questionable dance animation that flirts with entering the uncanny valley. Though thankfully, it's not nightmare fuel. Verdict? If you're into idol anime with a superhero twist, give it a shot. Otherwise, just add the soundtrack to your Spotify and move on. Number 5. Nohara Hiroshi, Hiru Meshi no Ryuugi, or Style of Hiroshi Nohara's Lunch by Studio DLE. Listen, if you're a foodie with extremely specific taste, you might enjoy this. If you're learning Japanese, this could be useful practice because the dialogue is simple and conversational. For everyone else, this is 24 minutes of a salaryman talking about what he's going to eat for lunch. That's it. That's the show. He discusses budget constraints, restaurant choices, whether he should treat his coworkers, cooking trivia, and occasionally vents about his boss. It's barely animated, mostly just still frames with mouth flaps. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I nodded off twice during the first episode. Once during a 5-minute explanation of the best way to portion rice, and again during a debate about tempura batter consistency. The verdict? This show is either meditative background noise or the world's most boring podcast. You decide. Number 4. Let's play Quest-darake Know My Life by Studio OLM. Okay, now we're talking. Let's Play follows Sam, a game developer in LA whose first game gets destroyed by a popular streamer's bad review. Plot twist: that streamer is now her new neighbor. Cue the awkward romantic comedy shenanigans. First of all, Bowser the dog is illegally kawaii. Second, the opening is genuinely fire. Third, and this is important, the show actually handles mental health themes really well. Depression and anxiety are visualized as physical manifestations, which is both creative and effective. The art style is modern and appealing. The cast is diverse. There are genuinely funny moments. The animation is smooth. The voice acting is great. And the story feels grounded and relatable. So why is it ranked so low? Honestly, I think it's just low viewership. In my opinion, this one genuinely deserves better. It's a solid slice of life romance with nerdy charm. The verdict? Actually worth watching. This is my hidden gem pick for this list. Number 3. Debu to Love to Ayamachi to, or Plus Size Misadventures in Love by Studio Marvy Jack. Here's where things get interesting. Yumiko has major insecurities about her appearance. After a terrible accident, she wakes up with complete amnesia, but also with a totally new personality. She's hyper-positive, confident, and ready to chop through everyone's complexes like they're made of paper. The premise is cliche. Amnesia plots usually are, but the execution, actually pretty funny. The show handles body image issues with surprising nuance while delivering genuine comedy. Now, is this Japan poking fun at plus-size people? Or does the author just have a specific preference? Hard to say, but the protagonist's delusions are amusing, and her interactions with other characters feel authentic. The animation is subpar, not gonna lie, but the voice acting carries it, and the characters feel realistic. The verdict? Surprisingly heartfelt, with some good laughs. Give it a shot if you're into character-driven comedy. Number 2. Wandance by Studio Madhouse and Cyclone Graphics. Oh boy. Wandance is about Kobuku, a high schooler with a stutter who decides to join the dance club after seeing Hikari Wanda dance with complete freedom. It's a story about overcoming insecurity and finding yourself through movement. Beautiful concept, right? Then you see the CGI. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. It's some of the worst CGI I've seen in modern anime. It's atrocious. The dance scenes, the main selling point of the show, look like they were rendered on a PlayStation 2. Hikari moves like a robot with broken servos. Her facial expressions are non-existent, the hair physics are nightmare fuel, and I got major Uncanny Valley vibes. The 2D animation is fine. The soundtrack is actually pretty good, which makes the CGI even more painful. And the story is generic. Shy boy wants to impress girl, joins her club, learns confidence. We've seen this 1,000 times. Verdict? Whoever approved those CGI dance scenes needs to be investigated by the Hague. This is a crime against animation. Number 1. Shabake by Studio Bandai Namco Pictures. Set in the Edo period, this show follows Ichitaro, a sickly young master protected by demons like Shirisawa and Inugami. One night, he witnesses a murder, and bizarre killings start happening around Edo. With his demon protectors, Ichitaro begins investigating. Sounds intriguing, right? The animation is good. The art style is solid. The soundtrack is decent, with a catchy opening. The voice acting works. So what's the problem? Well, nothing really happens. It's 90% slice of life, meandering set in historical Japan with occasional demon appearances. Then, they throw in a murder mystery that has zero urgency. Characters stand around, discussing things calmly, while there's supposedly a serial killer on the loose. There are no story beats, no tension, no momentum. It feels like the writers forgot they were making a mystery thriller and accidentally made a history documentary instead. The verdict? Technically competent, but aggressively boring. It's like watching someone take a very long, slow, very scenic walk through Edo while occasionally mentioning that murders are happening somewhere, probably. And there you have it, folks. The worst rated animes of fall 2025. Most of these were exactly what you'd expect from the bottom of the barrel. Nightmare CGI, barely animated episodes, or content so boring it could be used as sleep aid. But a few, like Let's Play and Plus Size Misadventures, actually deserve better than their current rating, in my opinion. It's worth noting that anime can decline in quality as seasons progress. If these are the starting points, I'm genuinely scared to see where some of them end up by December. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into anime purgatory, smash that like button and subscribe for more content. Drop a comment letting me know what anime or manga I should review next. Or tell me if you actually enjoyed any of these shows, because I'm genuinely curious if anyone out there is defending Wandance's CGI. Until next time, stay cultured, and remember, just because it's animated doesn't mean it's good.